Gear Spaceship Music Collective. This is Six Set Bro, a misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I'm your host, Dom Maple. Welcome to another episode of Six Set Bro, music and entertainment podcast. I'm here, as always, with my two brothers, the Council of the Brothers. Money Mike, where you at, man?
Oh, no. What
time? The
what
sounds
timing?
are back. Oh, he's bringing the sounds back. What's up, Money Mike? And I'm also with
the Jersey Bean.
The Jersey what?
The Jersey Bean.
The Jersey
That's
Bean.
what they call. Yeah, that's what. When I was growing up, that's what they called people from Jersey. Jersey Beans. That'll do.
Is Jersey known for beans?
They're known for the
they're
cows.
known for the
I'm pretty
Jersey
sure.
Royals and the cows. Yeah.
The cows, yeah. Jersey beans, is that a that is a
Jersey
thing, isn't
bean.
it? You can buy a can of Jersey beans from places.
I think so. Jersey Bean.
Yeah.
Probably change
Well,
next week.
I just can never pick a name. I'm sorry. I always try and think of something.
I'll come up with one every week. So.
Yeah, he's the Jersey Bean and the
Jersey
Money
Bean
Mike,
this week.
and we're here again for another episode, another jam-packed episode, jammed with jam. We got loads to get through. We got to talk about. Oh man, I didn't even talk to you guys about this before we done this episode. We got to talk about Fairy Tale in New York again. Every year we got to talk about this song for some reason.
About this. Yeah.
Civil Simian and Laps with some new music videos. Kanye power rankings. We're gonna have to do that at some point. Yeah, and yeah, there's too much. Twitter fleets. We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. You know what I was thinking? We should. I had a bit to start this episode. I didn't write it down, so I can't remember it anymore. So I'm coming. This is off the top of the dome right now. You know what I think we should have is people seem to be happy when I rant about things for some reason. I think I should just start every episode with a fucking here's something that I hate this week. I know it's not very positive, but like we'll come up with a stinger and it'll be like it'll just be like a fucking smarten up dumbass and it'll be something somebody I'll tell off. So you know what I'm going to do for this week? Advertisements, right? You see advertisements on everything. I don't know what rule changed, but something changed recently. It definitely did, because every video I watch everywhere, has about 5 commercial breaks. Like, I'm talking streaming, obviously, not on TV. But, like, every YouTube video has about 4 commercials now. And one of them's, like, 5 seconds before the end.
Yeah, something did change recently. I actually think this came up on my news feed. They basically just said that they're going to do all ads on everything now, even if the person running the video isn't trying to monetize it. So that's why you've seen a difference in how many ads are coming up. So
that's no...
Yeah,
they want
so
you to get that. They want you to get that
what are you
YouTube Premium.
yeah,
Just another
that's
way
probably the insidious shit that's going on behind the doors. It's like, we're at this stage now where everybody who's gonna get it probably has got it. So like, how do we get more people to get it? Just bombard them with advertisements.
The same thing has happened on Twitch where they're doing mid-rolls. So when you start a Twitch stream, you get a 60-second ad, even before you get watching the person, if you're not subscribed to the channel. And then I think it's 45 minutes to an hour in, you get 6 30-second ads, roughly. Again, just mid-roll. So even if something's happened, advert, you're out of the loop of the whole interaction, the chat, everything. So it's just everywhere. They're just putting adverts.
Well,
it's like, oh, subscribe to this, and you won't get this. And it's like, all right.
We did kind of touch on this just before we started, like not the increased ads on YouTube sort of thing, but we'd all kind of watched that Netflix show. What was it called again, Stu?
Social dilemma.
Social dilemma, and it's like basically the gist of that whole thing is like we are the products now. We are being sold to advertisers, like all our information, like what we're into and and everything else, and then it's just used against you, sort of thing. But yeah, it is annoying. There's like literally anytime you open up your phone, there's more friggin' pop-ups and ads than there is actual content that you want to read.
It's whenever they like you're trying to watch a video and it's like right before the punchline of the video, or like, oh, you gotta watch whenever this happens, and then you get to the point of be like, he's just about to hurt himself more than he's ever hurt himself in his life, and then commercial for something dumb. So you know what, YouTube, Twitch, whoever else, you fuck, smarten up, you dumbass. That's the stinger that
I feel like it should have some sort of like hillbilly sort of music behind it. You just crack a beer every time and finish with "Smarten up, dumbass."
Yeah.
But the thing, what you can't do on Twitch and maybe other platforms is at least YouTube. They're skippable. Like there's a
not
timer.
all of them.
No, that's what I'm saying. But at least the minority of them are skippable. So I mean that's handy. But like the Twitch ones, you just have to roll with 6 ads.
Have you ever seen any? Have you ever had any of those ads where they're very like self-aware that you can skip within about 3 seconds, and they try and sell you the product really quickly? It's like, we know you're gonna be gone in a second, but if you want to buy our product, then no, skip.
Yeah. No, I'm always gonna skip. There's never been a commercial that I've sat and watched. If there's a skip button, I'm hitting it every single time.
I thought you were talking about like the Duracell bunny that hurries the skip button on. It's like, hey, skip button. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one? Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of a smart way of trying to deal with it.
Yeah,
but there's other ones that are like, they know they can skip in like 3 to 5 seconds or something. It's like they try and cram the whole ad into the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Gotta hate that. Guys, can I just, before I go on, I'm recording this podcast from a cabin in the fucking woods. And I wanted the cleanest audio possible. I wanted to make up for last week, so I turned my heaters off. But I turned them off for how long now? 2 minutes? Can't take it. They're going on. So sorry for the background noise.
Dropped below freezing yet?
It's so cold. It's so cold.
Halogen heater coming soon.
Yeah, I'm going to get a silent heater eventually so I don't bother you with this background static noise. But just imagine you're in the cozy cabin with Don Maple, and that will be good. By the way, I'm Don Maple. I never introduced myself.
You're Don Maple.
Well, we don't want you ending up all Jack Nicholson by the end of the podcast.
Jack Nicholson. That was my Jack Nicholson. It was pretty good. Yeah, lads, if anybody tuned in last week, that was a surprising ending. It was kind of like a twist ending to the episode.
It was almost like a tune in next week.
It was just like,
it was a freeze frame, like from like an 80s sitcom, 90s sitcom.
In retrospect, I should have just brought it up with "to be continued." That would have been good. Yeah, for anybody who didn't listen to the last episode, you get through the whole episode, the whole thing. You can experience which is the experience we had. Is episode was fine, all recording our audio, everything's perfect. My power goes out, my power cut in the house, which comes out here to the cabin in the woods, which is what they based that movie on, and yeah, everything went off, so I lost it all, and we had to just pull the Skype audio, and I was very annoyed about that. Like, really, Mike will tell you, he phoned me afterwards, and I was furious.
Yeah,
I heard you over Mike.
I tried, and it didn't really work to try and calm you down after it, but there was no consoling you.
No. No,
well, in all fairness, it's been, I think, at least 3 weeks now. 3 weeks now, we've had some sort of technical hitch that has meant the podcast has went out in a form which we didn't really want it to go out in. Yeah. It hasn't been horrible, but at the same time, it's like we spend about an hour beforehand making sure that everything's set up, ready to go, and testing audio and stuff. And it's like you put all that work in, and then something still goes wrong mid-podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're cursed. Is the simple answer. I don't know. We say this now. I am wondering what's gonna happen this week. I've got all precautions going for me right now. Like, I'm recording this through my laptop, so if my power does cut out again for some strange reason, like that would happen twice, my laptop has battery and it will keep going, and I'll be able to save everything, and we'll be fine. So who knows? Yeah. I'm saying that now, and then by the end of the episode, I'll have to put another disclaimer on. My laptop blew up at the end. Just absolutely, like, exploded out of nowhere. But right, let's get in to all the nitty gritty, all the news that we have for you. Plenty to get through. And by the way, is everybody loving their PlayStation 5s?
No, I haven't got one.
Oh, baby.
Well, this
So
I
good.
haven't got one.
it was kind of a
because
rhetorical
goddamn
question.
Scalpers.
Andrew, if this was not directed at you, I apologize. I'm
No,
just
but the scalpers, get at them.
yeah. The scalpers are terrible people.
I've
yeah.
seen some like reputable news company. I can't remember where it was or whatever, but like legit news company, and this asshole writer was like, I was able to buy 7 PS5s online whenever they were saying they were sold out. It's like, what the hell are you doing that for? Just to prove that you can?
7.
Yeah, it's just to be able to write like an article about it, like write 2,000 words about how he bought 7 PlayStations and now people can't get them, and he's probably going to sell them on for more than they're worth.
Or maybe it'll be like one of those guys that you know, where it's like they have a good idea in mind, but really they're just still kind of being an asshole. Where it's like for their YouTube content, they're gonna buy like 10 PlayStations and then give them out to people in the street for a video, and I'm like, is that nice or not nice? I don't really know, because you're pretty much just like letting the rest of us suffer for not getting them, but you're giving them to people who maybe couldn't afford them. I don't really know where the middle
Or even
ground
worse,
is there.
or even worse, you've got a YouTube video and you go, "Oh, here's a brand new PS5. Will it blend? Let's find out."
Is that a Rhett and Link shot? Will it blend? They did it for everything. You know what? While we're talking about all this stupid, shitty, I don't know, pointless, not music-related news, we may as well just get this out of the way. Twitter has a thing called Fleets.
Get on your fleets, bro.
It's their story function.
Do you even fleet?
I don't even know what I have to say about it. You know what? That should have been my straighten up. Smarten up, dumbass. Straighten up. What did I say? I can't remember what the bit is already.
Yeah, I think it was smarten up, dumbass. Yeah.
Twitter, smarten up, dumbass. Come on.
I guess they have to do something to keep up with everything else. Like the tech companies need to, you know.
Well, yeah. Sorry, I probably glossed over it there. So fleets are Twitter's version of like Insta stories or Facebook stories or any other platform that now has a story function where it stays there for like 24 hours or whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So now they have a thing to just make them more like the other stuff. And this is the thing that it just kills all platforms, because they have to start incorporating the other stuff that other people do. I mean, whether it's fleets or Facebook stories or Insta stories, they're all just Snapchat now integrated into a different platform. And now they're doing it with TikTok, where they're taking the TikTok features and pretty much just planting them into Instagram with that new layout that everybody hates.
Yeah, that's the thing, and in such a blatant way, because it's like, we want you to realize that you can do TikTok inside Instagram, so we're gonna replace the main button that everybody uses on Instagram, which a lot of people come to for posting pictures, because like that's the main thing that you're meant to do. We'll just stick that button up in the fucking top corner and put Reels in the middle of your screen, so that you press it by accident and maybe you'll love it.
I hate where the button is to add a photograph. It's so hard to get to. Like, phones are pretty long nowadays.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
it. It's like,
it's not easy to press the add a photo button.
You
it's
could
like,
pretty much post with one hand before, and now it's like, no, you're gonna have to start juggling.
Yeah, it's a two-handed process now, which sounds like such first world problems, but you know what? I got used to a certain way of using Instagram, and I'm not happy about going back. You know what also I think is pretty funny about all this? It's like, so, like, Twitter will never link up. I don't think, anyway. I mean, I can't say, but, like, if Twitter stories, like their fleets or whatever, link up with Facebook stories and Insta stories, you know the way, like, if you post an Insta story, you can make it post to your Facebook automatically?
Yeah.
Do you not just think this is that bit from The Office where Ryan developed Woof, where it's like one it's a one platform where he has to do a thing, and it like sends a fax, a Facebook post, a Twitter post, an Instagram
Yeah.
post. It does them all at the same
So,
time.
so his idea was not to create a social network. It was just to create something that took
Just to
everything from everywhere
connect
else
them all.
and
Yeah.
sent it all together. Yeah.
Which why do I feel like that's actually coming now? Like
It's
that's
happening, yeah.
That was a joke, but now I think somebody's definitely developing
Somebody will sell that app eventually. Yeah.
that. The
I can
funniest
definitely see it.
funniest part of that joke is the fact that it, first of all, it's too real, especially now, and it's just the way the fax comes out at the end.
The fax,
it's like,
yeah.
why is the fax connected? It's just like
All platforms,
all platforms, no matter what the decade.
how old.
But yeah, fucking Twitter, smarten up, you dumbass.
There you go. But with all of this stuff, just saying, maybe even to bring it back to promotion or whatever, but in some way, is it not a good thing if you can... If apps have these things, you've just got more platforms to market yourself with easier ways to do it?
It is hard because we were talking about this before, and it's like, I think Stu will agree because we were talking about this a little while ago off air. We made the mistake early on whenever we were like doing hit the B button, the band stuff. It's like you try and do every single platform because you feel that that's what you need to do and you need to be everywhere and stuff. But one, you spread yourself very thin because it's a hell of a lot of work to try and, especially if there's no connection between like the way you can do an Instagram story go straight to Facebook stories as well. But if you can't do that, you're literally having to post multiple times to multiple different locations. Sometimes you miss places, and then this is the big unintended consequence of that. Sometimes if you accidentally pick a social network to share on and forget it, so like say you're going heavy on Facebook posts, but you also have Instagram, and you forget that you have an Instagram, and Facebook becomes the main place to find your band, or YouTube becomes the main place to find your band. Somebody could find the Instagram account, and then they come across it and they go, oh, this guy's music is really good, but he hasn't posted in 6 months. But you actually have. They've just unfortunately found the social network, which you haven't been working hard on to push. And then all of a sudden, you've kind of lost a fan there because they're like, yeah, that song was good, but I don't think he's done anything else since. Not true. Like, pick one platform and do it really, really well, and just try and get all your fans funneled into the one place, because it's such an easy mistake to make if you just try and do everything at once.
Yeah. I actually, I agree, and I find it hard. Like, anybody that follows me as an artist, like it's Don Maple on Facebook, will probably seen something I posted recently, because I was just so done with it. I put a post up pretty much saying, you know what, just follow me on Twitter, because I just can't. Facebook just kills me.
Annoying you at the minute,
Yeah, and it really does.
That.
And one of the worst problems with Facebook as an artist is that they kind of force you to have it, because you have to have a personal profile in order to run an artist page. Because I definitely would not have a personal page. Like, I guarantee you I would not have a personal page if I didn't have to run our
Like a
music
band
collective.
page?
Like,
Yeah.
your spaceship is run through Facebook, and it's Don Maple's run through Facebook. Anything I do in the arts sector is ran through there, because that's where I'm gonna hit the most people. I know it is, and that's where my fan base was built from, other than the people I physically met. So really, just trying to start a thing on Instagram or Twitter now, it's not gonna favor me really for gaining more people to get them on board. Probably gonna gain more people through sticking with what I have, but it's just so hard, man, because I'm fed up with it, and it's more the algorithms over everything. The algorithms just bury stuff. Certain people that maybe listen to this show don't know about certain aspects of the algorithm that can cause your post to get buried in Facebook.
Yeah, well, you're saying the whole thing about trying to run your spaceship through it and stuff. One of the hardest things is, some people may know that we do the audio podcast on Spotify, but then you can also see like the video version online on YouTube too. But like, if you're trying to get that content out to people, I think it's okay if you post up the audio link to Spotify, but see, as soon as you post up the link to a YouTube page, that just gets absolutely crushed, and the visibility is not there on it. they're not even hiding it anymore, because
No.
you can go into your insights on your page and you can see that, like, you post up just just text content with a picture, loads of people see that and react to it. You post up a Spotify link, still pretty much the same sort of engagement. You post up a YouTube link to this podcast, and it's like half the engagement, if even that. So, and every time, like, without fail, it hasn't just happened once or twice, and there'll be loads of bands and other people will tell you the same. It's like, as soon as you try and bring somebody off of the Facebook platform onto another platform, Spotify gets away with it, because I don't think they have any competing sort of, they don't offer music really yet, so I don't think they punish
as far
for
as
that.
I know, I don't really know if you get punished for a Spotify link or not. I always just assume any link that takes you away from the platform
Well, maybe
is at a
it's
negative.
right. Yeah.
Because they just, I mean, Facebook is all about how much time do you spend on it. Because the more time you spend on there, the more likely it is for you to buy things and spend money,
sell you
and
stuff.
more sponsors pay for it. You know, like,
You could be right. Spotify could be punished too, which kind of
I
like,
assume anything that's an external link is punished. Like,
you kind of
anything.
then have to get into the head of the people that make these platforms and stuff, and it's like, whether you're willing to actually do the extra work that it takes, or just say fuck you to the platform, I'm leaving, because you don't really serve artists very well. But like, the way to get around that then is, like, if you want somebody to hear your music on Facebook, you can't put a link onto Spotify, you can't put a link onto your YouTube video, you literally have to load that video content onto Facebook. So, like, I mean, that's a tip if you want to choose to use Facebook to promote your music, is like, don't link to elsewhere, because they're probably right away not going to allow you to spread the content as far as it would normally go.
The top tip for anybody, I'm sure, because a lot of our viewership is always musicians, but anyone who's starting out or maybe doesn't know about this whole algorithm push down, really the top easiest tip that you can have for this sort of stuff is that if you are gonna share like your music, or especially a video taking you out to YouTube or to your own website or whatever, your best bet is to make a post that doesn't have the link in it, and then put your link in the comments. Like, just comment on your own post, and that tends to not get buried in the algorithm as much, because the initial post is not externally like leaving the platform. It's in the comments that it is, which happens quite a lot. So I think that's harder for them to bury, because obviously on any popular post you're still gonna have people in the comments being
Putting
like
links and stuff.
I'm a young 23-year-old indie folk artist, come follow my music on whatever. I don't know, you get that on like all, I'm like, fuck off.
Hijacking posts.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but there is ways around it, but like, it's inconvenient, and it's an unnecessary step in what like any artist's already busy day is, trying to freaking upload their shit to as many places as possible and promote their music and stuff. Either, like, as you say, stick a link in the comments instead, or you can make links not hyperlinks, but then you're relying on people to copy that link into a browser window, or as I say, just directly upload video content. That video content on Facebook gets a big push.
It does, but this is the issue with it, and I think there is a way to monetize it in some degree on Facebook, but YouTube was always a simple way to be like, once you gain a certain amount of subscribers, you can start monetizing your videos through advertisements, and that's why people want to build a viewership on YouTube, and that's why we want to do it. But it's the reason ours struggles so much to grow is the only way I can make it grow is by asking people to subscribe on a very simple post that doesn't link to the YouTube channel. So it actually puts a lot of work on the fan side, which all I can say is, like, as much complaining as you can do about all this stuff, the main way to do stuff like this is, like, I don't know, shit like I'm doing right now. I mean, I make music, I want you to listen to it, but I have to diversify and do a bunch of other stuff. Like, I like making the podcast, but we do that because here I can talk to you about that stuff, so you know how much it's gonna mean to me. Like, yeah, come and follow me on Spotify, subscribe to the Your Spaceship YouTube channel, subscribe to the Don Maple YouTube channel. It's like, people don't even know that exists because is buried everywhere. It's so hard to get it out, man.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking nightmare. I don't know. But top tip, easiest way to post, do a post, put the link in the comments. That's your easiest fix to start off with. It just means 2 clicks instead of 1, which is the simpler way rather than copying hyperlinks and all that sort of stuff, because yeah, people are not gonna do that. Right, let's get into some scene around the scene. I don't have fucking... Oh, I do have stingers now. Yeah, I forgot.
See, he forgot himself.
Yeah, I forgot I had these things.
There you go.
Oh, I just went to play one. It's like that
Nope.
sound is not on file.
There you go.
Apparently I don't. Right, so you know what? We'll just
Technical issue number 1.
we'll play this noise. Here's the shout out segment. Right, okay, we gotta talk about a couple things. And can I just say, like, I want to preface this just with a little note that we have talked about as a trio, not on the air, but I think it's probably worth saying on a podcast. But I'm aware sometimes it maybe seems like we are, you know, sitting on the same artists, and that is definitely not a favorable thing. It can be to do with what we just spoke about with social media, especially getting in a feedback loop of the same people. So there's people who are releasing stuff that I'm excited about because I really like them as a fan, and because I like and follow their stuff so much, I'm probably seeing it a lot more. Your best bet is if you want something on here and you want us to listen to or whatever, you just send it at me. You send it at your spaceship and we will filter through everything. But that makes it so much easier for us because, like, whenever we're researching for stuff, because of targeted marketing, we're probably seeing a lot of the same stuff all the time. So just to make you aware, don't want you to think we're favoring anyone, but we are going to talk about some people that we have been talking about for a couple of weeks now, but it's because they're releasing music videos for the songs that they already brought out. So it's good to go back around. So we got Silva Simeon released a music video for Give It Time, which we talked about on a previous episode. Laps released a music video for Before You Go, which is a new song that they brought out. And, well, there's no music video here, but Jordan Adetunji brought out Top Notch, which is a cool song. So, which can I just say? So, Jordan's new song, see the artwork? And
yeah.
The artwork is awesome, and no exaggeration. You see that, like, take out the Ferrari or whatever's in there, that is, like, looks exactly like whenever I went to Croatia. Like, you see whenever we I went there on my honeymoon, and we, like, drove down, you drive down the coast when you were first coming in, like, past Dubrovnik, and yeah, there's just, it's this coastal route, and we just happened to come in at sunset, and it was like, oh man, it was perfect. But that picture just immediately made me think of that, like, straight away. I was like, this looks like that coastal route of Dubrovnik. I'm assuming that it's not based on that at all. It kind of looks more like it's meant to be a Miami thing, but
Vice City.
Yeah,
Vice
that's
City.
I got Vice City vibes.
Well, I did say that to Sarah whenever we were in the car driving through Croatia, and I was like, this is like Vice City. Like, that's exactly what it looked like. The sky was like pink and purple. It was amazing.
Yeah. And by the way,
yeah,
can I just
love
say,
the cover.
fucking quote me if I'm, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the last 3 songs that Jordan's put out has been 3 different styles of song.
Yeah,
yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
So it's like he's obviously just showing, like, just because he done, I think it was a punkish song.
Woke up
was the punk
was
song.
like the one that had rock elements in it, which was pretty cool.
Then you had the drill hip hop one. I think
what was that one called? Not
week.
Around or not around or
Around.
Yeah,
and now
that one sort of had
like
the heady one vibe, didn't it? I even think he references heady one. I could be wrong, but I think he references heady in the song because it's obviously a homage to his style.
And now there's this one which is like G-funk, funky.
It's very upbeat. Like, it feels like a Miami banger, to be honest.
That guy works hard. Like, I mean, he's just scooping up all the different fan bases. Like,
man, he's releasing a song like every week to the top notch, like the utmost quality. Like, I mean, the music videos are top notch. Oh, I'm saying top notch. That's what the song's called?
You see?
I just read that on my notes. The music video was top notch. Very nice.
And he's a model. He's just modeling his
He's just modeling
Fashion
too.
Over Puma, whatever
He's
it is.
just fucking killing all corners of the art world, I guess. So yeah, we had Top Notch from Jordan, which is such an upbeat, sort of groovy banger of a song, which is... There's really nowhere to party at the moment anyway. Probably just dance to it in your living room, I guess.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. It'll be a good club bop whenever it comes back.
Next summer, fingers crossed.
Next summer, we'll be dancing to Jordan.
He's gonna have a crazy back catalog by then.
Oh yeah, I
can't
can't wait to see the shows, man. I can't wait to see the shows. And then we had Civil Simeon drop the video for Give It Time just the other day there, and it's very much like I don't know. I immediately watched it. I don't know if it's just because Civil Simeon always give me this like Red Hot Chili Peppers vibes like straight away, but I was like, oh, it feels like Zephyr song, like sort of visuals, very psychedelic type neon outline video
Yeah,
thing.
I was talking to them a bit about it, because like I was interested. We were talking about like really focused in on making videos last podcast.
The last
and stuff.
episode, yeah.
Yeah.
And then because Sean McCann, who plays bass in Civil Simeon, said about hit film, because I think he uses that, so he was just
Yeah.
like, hit film is excellent.
It's great for free, yeah. But yeah, I was just like, I was getting all nerdy and stuff and asking the guys, what software did you use and everything. I think they were using Adobe software and stuff. But yeah, I think it's like this is getting really dorky now, but I think it's maybe like an effect called posterize or something like that. But it like it makes all the colors negative, like swaps them around and stuff. But
Yeah, there's a
it's
setting
pretty-
for that on
pretty good.
Photoshop. Photoshop actually, well, I suppose if they're using Adobe, because I'd never use Adobe for videos, but I've been using Photoshop like.
I probably got the
Jesus, all
setting name
my
wrong,
life.
but I thought it was
Well,
it was
there's
maybe posterize
one
or something.
one on Photoshop called Stylize, and whenever you go on, there's an option called Glowing Edges, and it looks exactly like that.
Like
So I
that,
imagine
yeah.
this is the video version of Glowing Edges on Photoshop. But
Great song, cool video, like so.
yeah, man, I really am very fond of that song. Really
Yeah.
like it. It's just I love the breakdown, the slow breakdown. We already talked about it though. Moving on, we can't give you all the love, Civil Simeon. Stop it! Stop releasing so many good songs.
Every week, yeah.
People are gonna start hating.
They're
us and
gonna
think
start
we're
thinking
the-
that they're paying us or something.
think we're the Polite Monkey podcast or something. So Laps, right? Laps is a band that we need to talk about more, because Laps is like, I feel like they just sort of like, people heard about them a little bit and then they just sort of like, ooh, oh, and they're
They're
everywhere.
blowing up.
They're blowing up, man. And they released
And
a
with
video
good
for
reason.
Before You Go, and the video is really cool as well. It's like this sort of like retro VCR type cam thing, and it's just them messing around.
It's just them two having fun, yeah. Which I love.
looks
It's-
like a lot of fun. Like that's the whole thing. If they look like they're having fun in it, then I'm having fun. Like
And
that's
this-
what it's all about.
Again, this is what we were talking about last week. Like for anybody that's got like music projects coming out and they don't have visuals to go along with it, it doesn't take much. Literally, just film yourself having a bit of fucking fun and stick some filters on it. But like as long as you do it right, it just kind of helps bring people to the music, which
Making it
track-
more relatable. Just,
that track
Yeah,
is
and it's
so
relatable
incredible.
too, especially if you do stuff like, I mean, I remember like one of my I say one of my favorite music videos, like I that's not true at all. I have some there's some music videos that are so well done that I absolutely love them, but I mean one for the most simple idea ever is like Eagles of Death Metal with she's just 19. That
Is that
is
the
that's
one
just-
with like all the wind?
no,
No?
that was I
No.
Want You So Hard, which seemed
Oh,
like
right.
See, the thing about that one is it seemed like it had a form of production value, but
Yeah.
yeah, just 19 is like, it's literally just seems like a video camera going around, and it's just Jesse Hughes in like a superhero cape, like dressed up with the sunglasses, and he's just like walking the streets of LA with Josh Homme, and they're just like going into supermarkets and stuff, and he's just singing the song, and they're carrying like a boombox which must be playing the song so that he can mime to it. But it's just that, along with Low by the Foo Fighters, where it's like
Oh,
Dave
yeah,
Grohl
that's-
and Jack Black go
that's
to a
great.
motel room and just get really drunk together and start dressing up in like tutus and stuff, and like
That was a
bombing around his
lockdown.
room.
That was a lockdown quarantine video before it even.
Yeah, before it was a
they
thing.
were ahead of
yeah.
the game.
They were very much ahead of the game. But yeah, you can do. There's so many, man. Just be creative. Be creative. Come up with
exactly.
something.
That's it.
They're very easy to do.
But here, guys, like, to get back on track here, because we're going off. The laps single, the actual song itself, is
Yep.
fucking so good, man.
It is
I
really
really
good.
like it.
That's a
like,
Peter's production is like it's up there. Like
I know he worked really hard on it because he was saying like it took him a bit longer than he thought, but he just wanted to be good, perfect, right? And
I just started
I'm so-
asking him a bunch of nerdy questions in the comments to be like, "Did you send this away for mastering? Did you do this? What did you use for that?" Just because I want to know for myself. But
I'm so glad he took the time to just get it the way that he wanted to. Like Andy, me and you were talking about this the other day with like video games as well.
Yeah.
It's like whenever there's delays and stuff, I don't care. Like just push
Yeah.
shit back. If it takes that to get it to where it needs to be, that's fine. Just like I don't mind waiting for stuff. Just like give it the time of day and do it the way that you want to do it. But it really, really paid off. It's like it's weird. So I don't know if I've just got this in my head because the artwork for the single is also so cool, but it like gives me really Grimes vibes from the artwork.
yeah.
Just I'm talking about now, but like I would make that comparison in that the guys don't necessarily sound like Grimes's music per se, but they have like that weird sort of like transcending like different genres. It's like there is pop elements in there. There is a little bit of like rock sort of stuff, like with the drums are really tight and stuff, but then it's got like these dancey sort of elements and stuff as well, and it's like really hard to pin down what the music is other than it's really fucking catchy because like the vocal hooks and stuff are really great. But yeah, I've had it on repeat, that along with we were talking about the other week there, Dutch Schultz's new album. Like that was the two things I've been listening to quite a lot lately.
yeah, man. I mean, I genuinely think Laps will be somebody. I keep saying somebody. I don't know. It's whenever I say Laps, for me it sounds like I'm talking about one person, but it's not. It's banned. So apologies every time I do that. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah,
Laps an entity.
It is an
Laps
entity.
the entity.
It's like some sort of.
Like hive mind AI.
That's
type
a
thing.
good term that I'm looking for. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that. I was thinking I was trying to go straight to what I could relate to, and that was Venom from Spider-Man. I was like, don't be a dork on
Symbiote.
here.
Yeah.
It's like a symbiotic relationship where
Let's just start talking about 90s cartoon Spider-Man instead. We could just go off like
talk about that all day. I'll show up in my fucking Spider-Man hoodie next week. We can do this. We can do this, everyone. I'll talk you through all the twists and turns of those plot lines. Best Spider-Man there ever was, and that's a fact. I don't. Sorry, Tom Holland. What?
Light, there's a Spider-Man right here, but the light's fucking shining off it. It's alright, my bad.
Oh, a Spider-Man? I thought you meant like an actual spider in the corner.
He's like here, but you can't see it.
Oh yes, yeah, he's on your Avengers
we
poster,
thought
yeah.
for a second there you were about to get bit and
No.
gain some superpowers.
Imagine.
You know what's so scary?
Podcast
It's like
exclusive.
the minute you switch the Spider-Man name around a little bit, it becomes terrifying because it's Man Spider. For some reason, that's worse.
Yeah.
Which is also a villain.
Yeah.
And I think canonically, it's like whenever Peter like amplifies his DNA. This is one of the episodes of the '90s show, by the way. It's like they amplify his DNA, and then it's like he starts like growing these arms out from the side of him. So he has like, I think he has like 6 arms, which is not a spider, but well, I suppose if you count the legs, I guess, whatever.
It was hard to draw the extra two. arms.
So yeah, he has like these, and then eventually turns into like proper man spider. I think the Punisher has to like put him
Yes.
down or something. Man, that show was fucking awesome. Smarten up,
It was.
MCU, you dumbass.
You dumbass. Oh.
Yeah, so Laps, pay attention. Pay attention to those guys. Not Laps, pay attention, but you pay attention to Laps, because I think there's something there. I really do. I can smell hits. I can smell hits cooking. Right, what else we got to get into? Sorry, I'm getting deets on my phone, and I'm hoping it's not. I keep
Getting the
trying to
deets.
move my phone away.
Alright.
So, what else? I got my notes here. Right, we've got to go through. We've got to do Kanye power rankings. Andy, do you want to start this off? Because I got beers sitting outside the cabin. I'm just gonna grab them, and I want you to. You can introduce this. Me and Andy had a conversation on Instagram about Kanye power ranking the albums, but I'll let him start it off. I will be back in 1 minute.
You can
Well,
explain this to me because I'm not even aware of what
Well, it
this is.
started with the other day. It was my Dark Twisted Fantasies 10-year or 11-year anniversary since it came out.
Jeez.
I know.
That's a bit scary.
I know. What the hell? And supposedly that's the album that, like, although I don't agree with it, but apparently that's the album that saved Kanye's career. I
Yeah.
still think his college years, his graduation, late graduation, and all that stuff,
I was gonna say,
college dropout, all of them.
I do
for
like
me-
my Dark Twisted Fantasy, but that's not the Kanye albums that I remember the most. Like,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna agree with you, and I don't know if that's just like, you know,
And so, if he wants me to rate them, like, I would put late registration.
what way did you have it there? What way
So-
did he do it? So he put my Dark Twisted Fantasy at the top, yeah.
So, let me see. Well, the thing is, hold on. A lot of people were saying that it's like the best album. Not for me. I still think it's.
You know what I think? You know what I
late
feel like?
registration.
You know what I feel like it's like? It's like whenever like you get the kind of not big fan sort of thing, the generic Kanye fans, it's like it just becomes like a thing, all of its own thing. It's like everybody goes, "Oh yeah, my Dark Twisted Fantasy." It's like whenever people ask, you know, like what's one of your favorite films, and people who don't think about it much go like, "Oh, Goodfellas" or The
Yeah.
Godfather or something like that. I feel like it just takes on its own thing and people don't think about it, especially whenever they're kind of like only light fans or something.
Yeah. See,
Um,
my like, what are we doing here, Stu? Top 3? We're not going to do all of his albums, right? Top 5?
Hold on.
Is it yeah or is it nay? Nobody knows it's yeah.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
I have a list of all of them.
But do you want to go through all of them?
I didn't tell you my list. I had to think about it for a long time. What's
Now,
your
is
number?
this going to be your personal favorite or what you think, like the critical acclaim
No.
stuff?
Well, no,
Is this going to
'cause
be
this-
your stuff?
This is my personal picks because I know that everyone's gonna put My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy first. Everybody's gonna do it, and I
Not
don't
me.
think it's not top.
Not
it's not
me.
top. No, I don't think so either.
That's
Everyone's
that's
jumped
the
on
weird
the
thing. Like,
bandwagon.
I agree too. I think we've all, and that's the point I was trying to make there. Just as you joined back in again, it's like I
Hey.
think it's this thing that just becomes its own thing.
It is. That's true. Here, and well, you know what? All three of us, on the count of 3, we all say what our favorite Kanye West album is. You ready? Right. 1, 2, 3.
Colin.
Graduation.
808 and Heartbreak.
It's all different. That did not go to plan. So, yeah, that didn't work out for me. Mine's Graduation.
Life of
What-
Pablo. I mean,
Were you 808 and
gra-
Heartbreak? I almost put that first,
I
and then
fucking-
it started dropping further down my list. But
now can I say 808 and Heartbreak and Late Registration are close for me?
oh shit, well, Late Registration went. It was down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not for the sake of it being a bad album. It's just that, like, the College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation could. I mean, obviously in the titles
That's
themselves.
like his college years.
Yes, it's seen as an album trilogy,
Yeah.
and it's this whole thing about it's the middle episode. I don't know. I feel it's very much like there's songs on it I really like, but it's like it doesn't even really get the best of either side. It's like he started great with here's this new style, this like chipmunk soul thing that he was going for, and then Late Registration was just kind of more of that. It was almost like a DLC to College Dropout. And then Graduation, I feel like, was the start of something new, even though it was meant to finish the trilogy. It was like, here I'm going in a new direction. It definitely got more synthy, and there was new elements coming in. And it's just always been my favorite. But I think it's definitely a personal preference for me because I seen him live during the tour. So did Mike. Mike came with me.
Yeah.
We're both there together.
That
But
was so cool.
and he seen Common. Common came with him. They didn't go.
Yeah.
See that album? That Commons.
The Kanye produced one. I think it
Yeah.
was not called Go. No,
No, it's
Am I
called
wrong?
B.
B. I
Wasn't
knew
it
it
called
was
B?
like one word. Yeah, it was called B. Yeah, Kanye produced on that. Yeah, terrific album. But yeah, I think it's a lot to do with it being my favorite. It was like around that time I seen him live. The live show was great. Yeah, I don't know, just so many good songs on it though. You know.
Right, so just go through yours then. So number 1 is for you.
So do you want me to just do them all together, or
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna compare
No,
and
you
contrast?
do yours. You do yours, and then
Okay,
we
so
can go from there.
number 1 for me is Graduation, right? A lot of personal reasons why, but it's number 1. Number 2 is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Number 3, College Dropout. Number 4, 808 and Heartbreak. Number 5, Life of Pablo. Number 6, Late Registration. 7, Jesus. 8, Jesus is King. 9, Yay.
We're not counting Watch the Throne, right?
No, because I thought it would get too complicated, because then you gotta
True.
count Kids See Ghosts as well. If you're gonna do collab
I'm not going to
albums.
do mine because I wasn't on beforehand to talk about this. So
But
I don't
this
know.
this was an
You would-
Instagram thing with
You
me
would need
now.
like another 2-hour podcast while I sit and him and ha and try and work it all out.
No,
So
me and
yeah,
Andy
you guys
I
just
thi-
run down.
I think we seen an Instagram post on Complex or something where it was just like rate the power rankings of Kanye West albums. I was like, Andy, we need to talk about this.
See, I would think about this far too much. Like my first answer whenever you just put me on the spot there was College Dropout, and it's like I don't know if it's just because like it's that whole it takes you back to a certain time whenever you first heard it thing,
Great memories of College
or
Dropout.
or like what exactly it is. But it's like if you were to think about it more and analyze it, would you come up with a different answer? But like that was just the first thing that popped into my head. But yeah, I'm not gonna. What are you thinking, Andy?
So,
How different is yours from Stu's?
Yeah, tell me your list.
Mine'll probably be. So mine 1 is 808.
I can definitely agree because to be honest, when I first made my list, 808 was my top for a long time.
Yeah.
Took me a while to change it.
2 is Late Registration.
Yeah, we definitely are different there.
I know. 3.
I feel like he's making amendments on the fly
No,
here.
no, no,
It's
no.
like that pen's
Scribble-
going and stuff.
scribble
It's like
answers out.
So 3 is College Dropout. 4 Graduation. 5 My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Jesus. Then Life of Pablo.
Yeah.
And Jesus is King is last. Cause
you know the thing about Yeezus, it had some singles on it, man. It had some
I-
really good singles, but yeah.
I just put it low because I don't know. I definitely don't listen to it a lot. It's like
Yeah.
it's a new thing. You know, it's like anything with Kanye. Like this is where it got me where it's like I need to talk about my power rankings, my personal power rankings of Kanye. Whereas if I had to think for culture and for music, even though people say Twisted Fantasy to be number 1, I really argue the case in that 808 and Heartbreak really should be memorized as one of his
that
most...
spawned an
It changed
entire
it.
generation's sound of music for that.
Of course it did. That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know why people look to Twisted Fantasy as here's the album that changed the generation of music. No, it wasn't. It was the album that came before. 808 and Heartbreak made everyone rethink auto-tune and the way that it was used. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was people like T-Pain and stuff were kind of doing it, but I feel like they never really hit it quite right. And it's like the last person I remember really using auto-tune in such a crazy way was Cher. With, like, believe or whatever that song's called. Do you believe in life after love?
And yeah,
That
but
one.
the same thing. Like all these 3, like the top 3, have a link to personal stuff.
Yeah.
The same
yeah.
as you. Like all
Yeah.
of these. That's what goes into my decision. Like I haven't even gone down the
I know.
critical acclaim, whatever. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Where did you put Life of Pablo?
It was like middle of the pack for me. It was 5. But then again, it's
Barely
because
an album.
it is. I agree with you, and it's a conversation we've had on a very old podcast about that album and the fact that it annoyed me because it almost spelled the future of albums being patched like
Betas?
video games. Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah,
releasing
we
albums
did
in
talk
beta
about this, yeah,
because he
yeah.
released it and then he kept changing stuff because you can do that now. Like
Yeah.
if you release digital and you don't go physical straight away, you have so many opportunities to like take away mixes and put new mixes out. And the Life of Pablo that I know now on Spotify is not the same one that I listened to mainly at the start.
You're really getting into conspiracy theory territory right now, but I've always had this like assumption that they kind of done this for years anyways, like especially with singles that come out like on Radio 1 and stuff. You know, singles that like come out really early and then they end up being Christmas singles and stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like I've heard this happen before where like slowly but surely like there's a different mix comes in and it sounds like it has like bells where it didn't before or something, or like a Christmassy element is added to it, but it's like it's released early enough for you to like the song and
Yeah.
get it into your head, but then they like put this subtle thing underneath that makes it sound more Christmassy, and it's like it gives it longevity and it allows it to sell for longer and maybe get it to Christmas number one. It's like I feel like it like songs have been being patched before we knew they were being patched.
Oh
It's
yeah, that's
mad
not a
conspiracy
stretch at
theory
all.
here, but sure.
That's
See
not a
if-
stretch at all.
See if Life of Pablo was an EP and you
Yeah.
took 30 hours, No More Parties in LA, Fade, possibly Facts.
Father, Stretch Out Your Arms, Part 2. Facts.
Yeah. Like, that would probably go higher for me. but
Real
because
Friends.
Because the album is the way it is, I'm like,
Yeah, that's that. You know what? That's my main beef with the album. And if he could have just finessed it and like made the track list shorter and less pointless, it would be way up, like towards the top for me, because I think it has some of his best songs. Weirdly, but they're all trapped in this abyss of random thing. Do you remember that thing that he took the time to add in the Silver Surfer interlude, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure is spelt like
Loads of eyes.
Silver
Yeah.
Surfer interlude or whatever. Like he has, I don't know. It's just a really annoying, obnoxious title, and it's just Silver Surfer, the producer, talking to him. It's a phone call. And I was like, why did you add it in? Like, he took the time to patch that into the record. I was like, you just made it longer for a pointless phone call.
but see, like, and I think My Dark Twisted Fantasy also came after the Taylor Swift thing.
It did. It did right
Which was
after.
like-
That was the next thing.
Yeah.
Well, you see, this is why people view it as such a cultural shift for Kanye, is the fact that, like, you know, if you want to deep dive on how it was made, like, there's a lot of cool things about how that record came around, and
Went
the
to
fact
Hawaii,
that...
right? Or something?
Well, yeah, he went to Hawaii, which is still where he made, like, some of 808s. And, like, you gotta remember that right before, or in the making of 808, he lost his mother as well. So, like, Kanye was definitely... It's weird, you read some articles and people were like, oh, Kanye used to not be so crazy. And I'm like, no, people thought he was crazy back then too. But like, you know, was it the VMAs or the Grammys thing? Whatever it was I thought it was VMAs, is it?
I think it might have been.
Whenever
Yeah.
Taylor Swift
Best
goes
video?
to take the best video and he came up and snatched the mic off and said no, but like, Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time, which I agree with. Shitty thing to do, but do any of us remember what the Taylor Swift video is? That one best video? Because I don't,
No.
and I'm pretty sure the Beyonce video that was up was Single Ladies, which everybody can do the dance to. So he was not wrong when he did that. He definitely was not wrong, which is always like shitty, unpolite move, but he's
How
correct.
it came across, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people shit on him after that, and he was clearly in a bad place anyway. Not that I'm gonna defend the guy. I mean, he's a little bit mental, but he would have been undiagnosed at that point with bipolar disorder too, which is an important thing to remember. So it's like he had the outburst. He then felt really guilty about it, and then
He also doesn't apologize for it either.
No, he doesn't, because it's like he felt guilty and then didn't feel guilty. It's like,
Yeah, it's
you
like-
know, he went off to Hawaii and then isolated himself and then made this record, which is like, there's a lot of reasons. You need to dig into it. That podcast I told you about before, they analyzed that album. Definitely worth the look into, to see like the comparisons, to be like why certain songs relate back to Beethoven. Like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in that record that you might not appreciate on first listen, but it is a bit of a masterpiece.
And if you don't know what podcast Stu's talking about, that was in last week's episode, so you'll have to go back and...
You have to go back.
Fine.
I cannot reveal the name here. It's called Dissect. I'm not going to be that guy. It's called Dissect, and it's very good. You should listen to it.
I think that Dark Twisted Fantasy probably has too many features.
That was kind of my problem, too. Too many features.
Like, feature heavy. I'm like,
I know. And
There's
some
some
people,
sort, like, with-
some people love that, but that's whenever he started working with Justin Vernon of Bon Iver, and he like had him on everything, and it was cool because that guy hadn't really. That's what got him into popular music, like pop music. He was making that like indie auto-tune stuff before,
Yeah.
and then obviously him and Kanye, I guess, like came together over auto-tune. It's just like converged over. Oh, you like auto-tune? I love auto-tune. Let's get together and make a record, man. I don't know who that was meant to be, Kanye or Justin, but it's one of them.
but yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I put Ye last. I think I forget that that's even a record sometimes that he released. Did you even rank it? I don't even think you did. That's how forgettable it is.
Ye's probably going to be. It's going to go Ye and then Jesus is King.
Oh, just because you haven't heard it. Jesus is King is better than Ye, but barely.
Musically?
Yeah, I mean, they're almost the same album. Only one he was overly religious and one he was not. But I think Jesus is King it's pretty much for like one song. Follow God, I think, is a really good song by Kanye. Like, just all in all, it's like a really, I don't know, I like it as a Kanye West song.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason, because Ye doesn't really have a song that like stands out as, here's a great Kanye song. They're all just kind of like, whatever. Because he was on his whole like, here's the shortest album I could give you thing back then, you know, whenever he's releasing like Ye, Kids See Ghosts, and the Nas record.
Yeah.
And somebody else, that's Nasir. It was like the worst Nas record ever.
Let Nas control the song. Don't let the beat control Nas. That's not
Yeah.
how Nas' style works.
No, that's
And
what
that tells by the album that he had brought out later on in the year, where
Yeah.
it's nominated for Best Rap Grammy.
It was way
Let
better.
him do the thing that he has always done. Don't
I know.
control the guy.
Because do you remember he had that song? What was it? What was it? Cops Killed the Kid or something? And it had that Slick Rick sample, where it's like, I know Kanye samples, but whenever you don't make it like blend nicely into the background, it just becomes obnoxious. Where it's just like, cops killed the kid, cops killed the kid, cops killed the. How you meant to
can-
rap over that?
You can
It's
be-
too much.
And again, back to the point where Nas's vocal style, cadence, takes over a beat. The beat isn't what Nas does. You
Yeah.
ruin what comes with listening to a Nas song.
True. I will agree. I don't think we were far off. There was actually one. I think we hit. Did we both hit College Dropout at number 3?
Yes.
Yeah. We got some
And I
stuff in
mean,
common.
they could flip. I only just thought that Late Registration to me just sounded better. As in, it was more structured as an album. I could be wrong.
I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. I think this is a lot to do with how I consumed those records. Was College Dropout I had, and I remember the album from start to finish, and like all the interludes linked up in that as well, all the really dumb interludes.
The Bernie
then-
Mac influenced. What the fuck is hey?
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
Yeah, that where we
R.I.P.
get that
Bernie
from.
Mac.
R.I.P. But yeah, Late Registration. I think is more to do with me illegally downloading on LimeWire and getting all the tracks mixed up, and some of them were good quality and some of them were bad, and it ruined the whole experience for me. So I've never I don't know. I've just never really seen it. And then he had features from people that now irritate me, like Adam Levine on Heard Him Say, where I'm just like, ugh. It was all early Maroon 5 days where people kind of liked Adam Levine, and then he became a dick.
But you had Drive Slow. I know
Drive Slow, homie.
I fucking love that song. Yeah, and again, maybe it's just what I was like. Oh, you were hanging about with friends, going to the beach, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Maybe it was the time.
That's what I mean. You sometimes, attach it to a time period. Yeah.
Once you attach your own memories to it, it becomes a different thing.
And I'm like, I remember this song from. It's like, when you first hear Diamonds, you're like, what? This is like it's literally a James Bond.
It is a James Bond sample, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Gone got me. Gone was the best for all the features. Like, where's the headphone?
Yes.
You what?
Yeah.
Only one. Uh-oh. I know that off by heart.
And then I just remember listening to Kanye talk on what was going to be Jay-Z's retirement album, the Black Album, when he was doing the Madison Square Garden concert, and he said, Kanye was like, I want this to feel like a movie.
Yeah.
I think Late Registration feels like a movie.
It does. It's cinematic, but that's why he released that late orchestration afterwards.
That's right.
Where it was like he done the orchestra version, because didn't he toured that record with an orchestra?
Yeah.
Which was a cool thing. That should have been a sign of things to come with Kanye, as like that he's not gonna do anything normally.
No. But
next up, floating stage, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh man, right. Well, I think we'll leave it there for Kanye news.
Nobody knows it's yay.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
Well, fellas, we're going for about an hour.
I was gonna say, can we go to commercial break before we do anything else? Because Kanye went on long there, and I need pee break.
Yo, you go for a pee. I'll hold the fort here. I'll keep going.
Gonna keep rolling,
Yeah. I'll keep rolling.
Just do like another hour or two of Kanye. I'll be back in a bit.
Yeah, you should have left for that whole thing.
I know. Well, I was wondering, should I just like walk off screen?
I know. No, you go, Mike. Don't worry. I'll keep the people entertained. We're almost there. We're almost at the end. We're almost at the finish line, everyone.
I just want to put in two of my personal thingies here. So Lloyd Banks' album came out 10 years ago also, Hungry for More 2.
Hunger for More 2?
The second one, there's 2.
Oh, jeez. No, I know the first one was... First one was my jam for like a long time. Whenever I was a young,
whippersnapper.
A young 13-year-old, 14-year-old, and like obviously thought I was super gangster. Yeah. And I was like, what were the songs on that? Karma. I can't remember those songs. Karma was one that was definitely good.
On the first one?
Yeah.
On the Hungry for More, the first one, there was Warrior, there was On Fire.
I'm a warrior. Yeah, boy. On Fire, that was the single. On Fire was the single.
Yeah, there was Karma. Oh, man. Fuck,
man,
see?
what a record.
I'm going flashbacks of, again, it's the time. Megs, I got one of my best mates from home. Megs, if you're listening, fucking remember that album. I'm just saying. Fucking what an album.
Oh, man, I love that record. It was so good.
And then
Lloyd
20
Banks.
years... Lloyd Banks, great. Love
Yeah, he was. He was whatever happened.
Underrated.
G
He just
Unit
stopped.
Yeah, I think G Unit went under, didn't they? And then 50 was off. And because Lloyd Banks was part of G Unit, then it was all whatever.
Yeah. And then 20 years ago, The W came out with Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang.
That is... Yeah, that's
Man,
fucking...
Start a segment of Andy like, on this day 20 years
I
ago.
fucking swear to God.
Man,
God.
it's time's moving too fast. Man, I haven't even showed people my book during this whole podcast, but it's just got a bunch of Kanye's face on it.
There you go. That's way back from Should we call it season 1?
Season 1, yeah. I got bought this as like a Christmas present or something. My podcast notes go in there. You know what's a record you should listen to? We're just suggesting music to each other until Mike comes back. There's a record that is so like 1990s grunge sort of pop music, like, I don't know, Garbage-esque. I don't know. I can't compare it to. You'll know what I mean whenever you listen to it, but it's an artist called Biba Doobie. It's a hilarious name, yeah. And the album's called Fake It Flowers. I will link it to you, but it's like, it's such a good album, and it's very much like, she listed people as inspiration for it, like Veruca Salt and stuff, so it's very much like etched in the 90s, for sure. But yeah, really good album. I would highly suggest it to anyone. It's an album I've been listening to like a whole lot recently. And it's, yeah, if you're a fan of that sort of 90s era, like Veruca Salt, Garbage, female empowerment vocal thing. I don't know. It's really nothing to do with being female, like, but obviously she's a female vocalist. So, and she cited a lot of female 90s bands as inspiration, like the Breeders and stuff. So, yeah, definitely check out Biba Doobie, Fake It Flowers.
Booby dooby.
Check it out. Boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. Fake It Flowers. And weirdly, I've been going back and listening to Coldplay.
That was a weird time to come back in.
Yeah, it was.
What's caused that?
Oh, I have to be in a different vibe to listen to Coldplay.
Man, you know
Don't
what?
get me wrong. Like the first 3 albums.
That's it. And it was a whole... It really frustrates me whenever I listen to them now, and it's like what you said about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It's a thing to be like, Coldplay? Fucking dickheads. We hate them all. Like, we hate them as a unit. As the world, we hate Coldplay. That is so not true. Man, they used to be great, and those first 3 albums... The first one, I know some people...
Shiver back on? Absolutely.
Shiver is good, man. The first record, Coldplay, are very much their own indie British band, but then the second and third, like A Rush of Cold Blood to the Head and X and Y.
X and Y, that's the shit.
Listen to those and tell me that's not Pink Floyd. My dad was the first person to bring this up, and at the time, because I was so young, it was kind of like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. I just like the songs. But he said, like...
That track, is it Politic or
Politic,
something?
first song
yeah, it's
of...
the lead track of one of the... Yeah.
A Rush of Cold Blood to the Head. But it's not... You know what? My dad always said it about that one song, and he's like, this really... Like, this is like... Cool. Sorry, I'm trying to do it in his voice or something. They just took that from Pink Floyd. That's what he would say. But, like, he's right. And it's not the one song. It's like...
Yeah.
It seemed to be what Coldplay were kind of going for those 2 records. And then it was Viva La Vida. There's a term I need to come up with for this, but I feel like I can sense it in a record where it almost hits a peak of popularity where it's gonna tip an artist over a bad ledge. Like, it's just... There needs to be a term for that, but it is Kings of Leon, Only by the Night. That was Coldplay, Viva La Vida. That was the one that turned everyone against them because it was so successful. Because they had the single, like Violet Hill, Viva La Vida. That's whenever they done the deluxe version that had the song Lost that Jay-Z featured on, which is really cool as well.
A good song. Yeah.
And then they, all of a sudden afterwards, they started like, here's a song and Rihanna's in it. And it's like, what? That's weird. But I suppose they featured Jay-Z on the last one. But he was only like a bonus collection feature. He didn't actually feature on the song Lost on the record. And then they just started going down this like super, super mainstream pop thing where, in my eyes, they could never recapture what they were up until that point. Exactly the same with Kings of Leon, where there is a pre Only by the Night Kings of Leon and a post Only by the Night. And it's disappointing. Disappointing what happened after. They just can't recapture the magic. I'll come up with a phrase for it. I don't know what it is, but it's their tipping point.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's definitely a term to be.
I think
be
the
coined. I'll come up with it.
The last album I heard, attempted to listen to a Coldplay was What the fuck was that called?
Milo Xyloto
That
or
thing.
what?
There was there's waterfall.
Never release a record that you can't pronounce. Can I just put that out to everybody right now and just say that not just Coldplay but anyone, if you don't think people can pronounce your record, don't name it that.
Yeah.
All right,
But
continue.
nah, X and Y. Again, I think X and Y just because of the time it was on. It's just like you can just flash back to that time and you're like, God,
Yep.
what a time. Yeah.
What a time! What a time to be alive. We didn't have to isolate in our houses, and there wasn't.
Did I miss much?
No, we were just talking about music.
Talking about music.
I suppose
Talking
that's
about
the
the
podcast.
Talking about Wu-Tang Clan 20 years ago.
Wu-Tang.
We don't normally talk about music very much. We
not
usually
really.
get sidetracked.
Well, to be honest, I was rolling up to a close. Although you did
Let's
want to
machine gun some subjects out there.
Well, I've got one big thing at the end, but we'll wait till the end of the show to bring the big guns out. But Mike, you were talking earlier about Red Sun Alert. So I
yes,
didn't
yeah.
want to forget that. I know you wanted to recommend it to the people, so go ahead, sell it.
No,
Sell it
that's
to
cool.
everyone.
I probably should have segued again whenever we were talking about music videos, because weirdly, again, it was a music video that kind of like made me stand up and take notice of this song. But the song is amazing in itself. I was trying to think of a way to describe it, and I said to you earlier, the only term I could come up with is it's got a stonking riff in it, but like. I don't know what other descriptive words, like beefy, girthy. I don't know. But yeah, it's got a big riff in it, and it kicks you right up the face at the start. But the video is really cool and funny, and kind of goes completely against that big, massive, riffy song that they have. It's like literally a pet photo shoot. So the song is called Sort It Out, and it's by Red Sun Alert, and it's on YouTube. So like, if you guys want to check it out, I would recommend jumping on and giving it a look, because the video is kind of funny and the song is kind of amazing. So
The song was I only got to hear the song right before we came on the show tonight, and the riffs are dirty.
it's a bit of a
And I
punch
like
to
it.
the face.
Yeah, I'm gonna go listen to it after this, like for real, because I want to hear it in full. I only got to hear like some of it, but the riff sounded very good.
I was just gonna say there's some other stuff I've been listening to there as well. That's been really good. It's kind of just like, I don't know, like kind of good vibe, upbeat sort of music or whatever. I just kind of I was flicking around listening to stuff today, and I stumbled across a couple of things, and it was just like kind of, I think we all needed it at the minute. It was just kind of music that made you feel good, even though like one of them is a new song by the Wombats, and like if you listen to the lyrics, they're doing exactly what the Wombats always do, or what they've done really well. It's like, don't analyze it too much because the lyrics are kind of depressing, but like the whole song in itself is upbeat and fast paced and is pretty cool. They have this song like with another producer called Peking Duck, and it's called Nothing to Love About Love. I swear to God, it sounds like it could be like ripped straight out of the Drive soundtrack. It's got like that sort of like dancey, like middle of the night kind of neon vibes.
They definitely
about
sounded like they started going that direction.
No,
like,
well, no, I would say, Stu, because like I know what you're gonna say. It's very different from the pop direction.
Yeah.
Of the last couple of albums. It kind of feels still more old Wombats to me. You know, whenever they used to throw like maybe one or two tracks in an album where it was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, like there was that one, is it like Techno Fan or something it's called, and it's kind of like a piss take on like being a dance music fan sort of thing, but it has that whole beat behind it. It kind of falls more into that. It feels more old Wombats than anything that they've done recently, and I really, really enjoyed it, but it was very cool. And then there's a track, I don't know if you'd actually heard this maybe, because I know you're like big Mac DeMarco fan, but he done a song, again, there's like loads of collabs I kind of stumbled across today, but with this French producer called Mead, I think it's MYD, and I think it's pronounced Mead. It's called Moving Men. Again, it's like...
Oh, Moving Man, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that song is
that's
so
a great
good.
song. Yeah.
It's got like a really, really great hook, and
Yeah, with Mac.
you've got like the typical Mac DeMarco sort of chill vocals
Yeah.
and stuff, but it's like the whole hook is like these whistles and bells and like warbly
Yeah.
guitar and stuff. And I just kept putting it on repeat.
Mac
today,
seems
so-
to be into whistles as of late because he had that feature on a song by The Garden called Thy Mission, and there's heavily featured whistles in that. So I don't know. Sometimes that guy just gets onto something. He's like, I'm gonna put this on everything. So he must like whistles now.
I really do love that that particular track. It's like Mac DeMarco for me. I like keep going back to certain ones. He's like weirdly like stealth singles for me. It's like that guy's got like cult following sort of thing, but for me it's like I attach myself to a few of his songs and I would keep going back over and over again. I like one of the earliest songs is Baby's Wearing Blue Jeans. I fucking love
Blue
that
Jeans,
song.
yeah.
I stick that on all the
Baby's
time.
wearing blue jeans.
It's so catchy.
You know that whole record, Rock and Roll Nightclub, is meant to be somewhat of a piss take, though. He said that
Oh,
he
yeah?
wanted to release an album where he sang in an Elvis voice the whole way through, and that was his first album, and it's like it's still there. And he's like, it's just the dumbest shit, like Rock and Roll Nightclub. It sounds exactly the same as Baby's Wearing Blue Jeans. It's like the same song. But they are fantastic, and yeah, I've noticed that Mac is definitely like, I don't know if he has a plan on the way he's doing this, but he keeps jumping on. He's featuring on everything at the minute, like all over the show. He's doing features. He done The Garden. He done that song. Hold on, I would have to bring it up here to remember. But every song I've been listening to recently, it's like it's a feature that he's on, but it's like they're all very different. It's pretty cool. I hate the way this is laid out. Oh, he done the song with Spooky Reuben, When Your Heart Says Yes. That's a great song featuring Mac DeMarco. He was on Moving Men. He was on there's another one that came out recently. I don't know, but you should go and check it. I mean, they're always on his Spotify, like also featured on. Oh, Yellow Days. He was on a Yellow Days song as well.
I think I might have actually. There was another Mac DeMarco track I saved
He's
recently.
on,
It could have been that.
He's doing so many features, and I don't know whether that's a marketing scheme or not, because the one thing that worried me about Mac is, like, I love the guy so much, but he, like, kind of done this thing where I felt like This Old Dog as a record was, like, a culmination of so much Mac stuff, where I felt like he was finally refining it all and getting it to a great place, a place that kind of felt like John Lennon Plastic Ono Band type deal, where he was outing a lot of personal things in himself, where the songs were very much about himself instead of like portraying characters or trying to beat around the bush about certain subjects. And then he done Here Comes the Cowboy, which definitely still songs about him, but it felt like the whole point of that record was to be as minimalist as possible.
More obscure and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like even the all instrumentals are so minimal that there's like hardly anything to it, which is a cool style, but it's a question of where do you go from there then, because he could not be any more minimal now. Like that song,
Yeah.
Nobody is like one of the most minimalist songs I've ever heard. And then he had the song for his girlfriend, Kira, called K on that record, which is just him and a guitar, and that was it. So yeah, I don't think he can take any more off, so he's gonna have to come up with a new way to be cool, which is not hard for that man. He's very cool by not being cool, and that's the hipster way. So
Yeah, the last one then, it was just 3 tracks that I kind of been listening to quite a lot on repeat there. We Are Scientists. Have you heard their new track?
no,
It's called Fault Lines, and it's got this really, really cool lick. It sounds like it's like straight out of like a Royal Blood song or like Death from Above 1979, but like I've just been listening to it quite a lot, and I don't know if it's just like it's really great to see like them back again, like doing stuff,
Yeah.
and hearing his voice on stuff. Is it Keith Murray or something is like the lead
I forget.
lead singer?
I met him
I-
once.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Was it like Leeds Festival or
I
something?
met him at
like that?
Leeds
Yeah.
Festival. He came out into the crowd to watch Circle Waves, And then, because he has like this silver hair, I like spotted him straight away, and I was like, I'm gonna go say hello to that guy.
Oh, when
He
you
had
said
a-
when you
you
said
said
Keith Murray, I thought you meant the rapper. I was like, Keith Murray? What the fuck is he doing there?
I didn't know there's a rapper called Keith Murray. It's a very
Oh,
normal
yeah, he
name
really-
for
he
a
was,
rap guy.
He rapped Meth Man, late 2000s. Done a song with Redman. And stuff.
Hopefully, I haven't got the lead singer of We Are Scientists mixed up with a rapper.
With Keith Murray, the famous rapper. He's there with Dave.
Well, see, whenever you Google Keith Murray, the first thing that comes up is the rapper. So
I
now
guess not.
I'm gonna have to dig deep to see if he's also the singer of
Murray.
We Are.
Keith Murray done a late 2000s song with Redman, I think.
Redman. Imagine being on a song with Redman and your name is Keith Murray. Like,
Yeah.
That's just unfortunate.
Here, it's true. If you have to Google Keith Murray, We Are Scientists to get that guy.
No. Well, there you go.
Just shows you rap music's in, rock music's out.
I'm fucking out with everything because I've been sitting listening to Bobby Charles. Yeah, I relate to that on a spiritual level. So go check out Bobby Charles. Not new songs. Old 1970s songs. Yeah, hot hits everyone. Right. Before we wrap up this episode, I got some breaking news, breaking exclusives to drop on you that happened as we were recording this episode. I was getting messages from...
Getting the deets.
I was getting some deets. You probably heard. That was me getting messages. Sarah McCreedy contacted me to say that she is going to be surprise dropping a single on Friday, which is crazy. That's 2 days from the day we record this. But if you're listening to this podcast, it means it's today because we release on a Friday. So, yeah, there should be a new Sarah McCready single out there somewhere. So she like sent me a little voice message. I haven't listened to this yet, so I'll play the voice message for you. Here's Sarah McCready announcing the fact that she is dropping a new single this Friday.
Hello, your spaceship. Hello, Six Up Bro. It's Sarah McCready here. Big love to you guys. Big shout out to Don Maple and Andy and Mike and of course Al, who I'm sure is around there somewhere. I just wanted to let you guys know about my new single, which is coming out next Friday, so Friday the 4th of December. It's coming out kind of in line with Bandcamp Fridays, so I think it's something you guys have talked about before, right? How Bandcamp waive their revenue on the first Friday of the month throughout 2020. So the single is called Waiting on a Train, and it's a totally spontaneous release. I didn't expect to release it. I didn't expect to release anything anytime soon, but I put it up on my SoundCloud a few weeks ago, just a demo, and it got such a great response. And I just decided to run with it. I just recorded it in my kitchen, and then my friend Matt McIver helped me to lay some bass on it, and then I sent it off to get mastered, and yeah, it all came together very quickly. So Waiting on a Train is out on Friday the 4th of December, and yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know, and I hope you'll enjoy it.
I am sure we will. Sorry, I'm wrong. I said it would be out today, and it won't be. It's next.
There you go.
I was reading the message as I'm doing a podcast, so you know I can't multitask very well. So no, it will be out the next Friday, then the 4th of December. So note that in your diaries. So we'll see if we can get Sarah on. We'll get her on the podcast before the single drops, and then we'll air an episode with Sarah on the 4th of December to coincide with the single release. We will do that, Sarah, wherever you are
in the atmosphere.
wherever you are. She also did say she is currently listening to last week's episode, and so she said that's kind of weird. She thought that was very meta, and she was like, she wanted to make a couple of notes of things we talked about last week. So she said that on a note of, is it okay to listen to the Deftones because Stephen Carpenter, their guitarist, thinks the world is flat and coronavirus doesn't exist? She said that she thinks that whole thing exists on a spectrum. So she's like, I think it depends on A, how bad the accusation is, and B, how good the music is. Like, she's like, if you take the Beatles and Michael Jackson, they're never going to be fully cancelled because they're just these bands that are cultural touchstones of how music has evolved and shaped what it is today. And then she said, "That's just my 2 cents. Ignore me." And
No.
then she said,
I would say-
"Drink
I would say
every
that-
time that Andy says Leo Miyagi,"
Yeah.
which is very
Well,
accurate.
to
Which
that I
haven't
would.
said it.
We haven't said it this episode. Andy, say Leo Miyagi.
But also go check out Leo Miyagi's
Leo Miyagi.
album.
Yeah. Yeah. To that, I would also respond. Sarah, take my job, because she could articulate that whole argument a lot better than I ever could personally. I think we ever could. But yeah, I kind of agree with that. It is definitely a spectrum.
We're three
spectrum
ideas,
thing.
man. We don't analyze things. We just like,
Just you come here. You take my.
here's
seat.
an idea.
It's fine.
Take it.
We're kind of
run with
like
it.
Jerry Seinfeld of 2020. What's the deal
We're-
with people being canceled, huh? You
I thought
tell
you were-
us.
I thought you were gonna say we're all George.
No, I don't want to be George.
Nobody wants to be George.
Nobody wants to be George. Although I did see a meme from you should, if you're a Seinfeld fan, first of all, if you're not a Seinfeld fan, then there's something physically wrong with you. Favorite show, best show in the world ever, never timeless. Fuck you if you think otherwise. But I follow a page on Instagram called Costanzagrams, and for George Costanza, and they had the thing where he's parking people's cars because you can never get a parking space in New York. So he's like taking on this job because they pay him $50 a week or something to park everyone's cars, and he can't work all the keys, and he's getting really flustered from it. But they were like, the meme was whenever Instagram puts the new layup up, and he's just like, I'm pressing 1, I'm pressing 2, nothing's happening. He's like, I give up. It's like that was me on the first day of the new Instagram setup, to be fair. Costanzagrams, go follow it. That's freaking hilarious. Right, so yep, Sarah McCreedy, we'll have her on next episode. Keep an eye out for the new single then. That's very exciting. Yeah, I don't have anything else to finish up with. That's just all super positive stuff. As long as my laptop doesn't explode in the next 5 minutes, I think we've done a successful podcast, gentlemen.
Still time yet.
Yeah, maybe we should wrap up really, really quickly.
I
Just
was
in
gonna
case,
say-
'cause this happened last time.
But this is a good way to end. Just keep it with the to be continued type endings. We didn't get to squeeze in the whole Sam Wickens new video, and there's some weird conspiracy message.
There is. You're
there's
right.
there's like one frame where there's some text on the video, and it's like, I feel like, am I reading into it too much, or is there something going on there? Because like there was Japanese characters and stuff appearing, so we can maybe like dive into that a little bit more next week.
It gives me a chance because I haven't seen the video, so I can go and watch it now and analyze. Everybody else out there can go and analyze the video, and let's tell us, what does it mean? Let's break it down. Let's get some theories going.
You'll enjoy the video either way. If there's no meaning behind it, it's still an awesome video. It's all black and white and stuff, and it's shot by Dan Productions again. We've been admiring all the videos that he's been putting out the last couple of weeks for review, and he has a whole swathe of them on his page, and they're all so good. But yeah, either way, check it out. And it's really, do you know what's really hard? See if somebody puts a hidden thing in a YouTube video, you can't pause on a frame very well on YouTube.
Very hard to. You
It
gotta
always,
keep a
back,
couple of frames
forth,
open.
back,
Yeah.
forth, yeah. But yeah, there might be something in there.
Interesting. Is that how easy it is to win you over, by the way? Black and white video? You're like, it's so cool, it's black and white and everything.
Black and white's hard to do right, if you know what I mean.
It is.
There's
You gotta get that color
yeah.
contrast, right? The shadow, the color grading. We love color grading up in this podcast. Talk about it all the time. Right, okay, well, look, that's all I have. Andy, is there anything before I end this call?
RMR, check out there's a new hip hop group, or artist, sorry, that I've been listening to, a song called Fourth Quarter. It's like a cover of 3 songs from Drake, Goo Goo Dolls, and who was the other one, Stu? We listened to it before.
Matchbox 20?
There you go. Oh, I just want to, not to end on a somber note, but this isn't going to relate to you two at all. Diego Maradona, the legendary football player, died
seen that.
today. R.I.P.
Yeah.
I text my brother straight away. Idol, for me, obviously not the drug stuff, or shooting at a reporter, or cocaine, or beating up people,
I feel
Anyway.
like this is the Kanye chat again. It's like
No,
an hour later, he's still listing.
No, he was. But I just want to say, R.I.P. Diego Maradona, greatest of all time. And yeah, that's it. We've gone too long. I'll bring up everything else next week. Done.
I think Stu's frozen again.
Yeah, I just wanted to see
imagine?
if
That'd
anyone
be
thought that for a second. No. Yeah. No, don't worry. Nothing's broken yet.
Oh, hashtag boycott the Chappelle Show.
Oh yeah, we were meant to talk about that. We already did. It's fine. Netflix have taken it down, so it's fine. Long story, but yeah, Dave Chappelle is the best. They took down Chappelle Show, which they should do because he wasn't getting any money for it. CBS did pay him. Done. Story over. Right. Okay. Well, look. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back again next week with Sarah McCreedy, and we will be talking about her brand new single, "Radio Guy."
Exclusive.
So, that was meant to be one of those rap horns.
Horn
How do you
things,
not
yeah.
have that on a soundboard?
Yeah, we should get that on the soundboard.
I don't
And then
have.
you'll just use it too much.
I don't have that.
Isn't that not a default on the soundboard?
Unfortunately, not. No.
Really?
I have some.
What has happened with you in the soundboard? Because like you used to be trigger happy, and now it's not even getting used. What's going on there?
I don't have enough sounds
Give
on
the
here.
control to Andy.
I don't have enough sounds. I have crickets. I have cash
Well, you need
register.
that. You need crickets a lot on this show.
I have crowd cheer, which I definitely don't use that enough. I mean, we should be using this at all times.
Yeah.
Like for all intros.
You should get canned laughter for like all our bad jokes.
Yeah, that would be good actually. Or you know what would be even better? Just not even getting full canned laughter and just having me record my own laughter and being like, ha 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 ha. And
just
like I'll just put it in.
distant clap.
Yeah, just one guy just being like, good one, boys, good one. And that could be I'll just start taking my own samples. Weirdly, I don't know how this ended up here. I swear to God I didn't put this on the soundboard, but I must have had the file on my phone that I was transferring at one point. But I have a really, really old song that I recorded all in French. And that's
Play us out.
Play us out. That's a fun night. It's so embarrassing. It's not. I mean, it's not like I can speak French. It's definitely not right. I must have been like 13 years old, 14 years old, and I put all the lyrics that I wanted into a Google Translator, and then made those the lyrics for a song about a French robot who was made out of dustbin parts.
I like the concept. Concept albums from the very beginning.
You know what? At this point, I don't feel like I can say all that and then not play us out on it. So, right, this is called Jaques Le Cube, and I recorded it whenever I was 14 years old. And I don't have the file anymore. Never mind.
There you go. You'll find it somewhere.
Teaser. You're gonna need to put it up on the page or something.
I'll put it in post production, so it will play here. Thank you for tuning in. The Six Set Bro. We love you, and we will see you next week with Sarah McCreedy. All being well, fingers crossed. Later, fellas. Bye.